Now, it may be coming a day late and a dollar short, but Marvel has finally decided to stop dragging their feet and make a solo Black Widow film. Scarlett Johansson is back in the role, and she's joined by some heavy hitters including David Harbour, Rachel Weisz, and relative newcomer Florence Pugh, who I just recently saw in Fighting With My Family and Midsommar, and based on her alone, I'm pretty excited for this film just because I'd like to see more of this actress. On the flip side of things, I also feel like, where was this movie 2 years ago? One of the things that Marvel has kind of dropped the ball on is doing some standalone films that can truly stand alone. And even this kind of ties back to, like I said before, the events of Civil War and leads into Infinity War, but at the same time, it still feels like enough of a singular story that it can work without having to tie in multiple threads from the other films. And I think that's one of the things that I hope to see more of as Marvel moves on into its Phase 4 plans and into the future. I am a little apprehensive because they've already stated that watching the Disney Plus series that they're currently producing is going to be essential for understanding things that happen in subsequent films, and I feel like that's a big mistake, but I'm not going to get into that because we're talking about the Black Widow trailer that just came out, and it looks fun. It looks pretty straightforward. There's some decent action scenes, especially the introductory fight scene between Florence Pugh's character Yelena and Natasha Romanoff, and I kind of like what they're doing with it. They're not trying to make it this sort of grand, sweeping epic like the other Marvel films have been. This is something that's very much more in the real world, especially with William Hurt reprising his role as Thunderbolt Ross, and potentially also having a Robert Downey Jr., Tony Stark cameo, which I feel will probably just end up being absolutely needless, but what can you do about it? I think the action looks solid. I like a lot of the aesthetics that I'm seeing. I'm hoping we get a lot more backstory for Black Widow, because I feel like that's a character that kind of has gotten the short end of the stick as far as development that, you know, was usually just hinted at, and sometimes that can just be part of the allure of the character, but it is nice that we're kind of seeing a lot more of what she went through during the Black Widow program. We're getting hints of that. Obviously, there's a bond she has with Yelena and Melina, played by Rachel Weisz, and David Harbour as the Crimson Guardian, so it'll be fun to see how that dynamic plays out in this film, and we'll just have to kind of wait and see. Hopefully the next trailer has a little more oomph. I feel like it was a tease. It's something just to kind of get you interested, but we also have to acknowledge that Scarlett Johansson's track record as far as her films outside of the MCU haven't always hit the mark, although she is apparently getting a lot of praise for her performance in Marriage Story with Adam Driver, but we also have to factor in the whole Ghost in the Shell fiasco and her potentially playing a trans man in a film that ultimately was killed because of the backlash, let's be real about it. But there's a lot of things that are going to have to be considered, but I'm still looking forward to this, and I kind of hope that it is a good film that builds on the character of Black Widow and does something a little bit different compared to what we've seen in other Marvel films. So let's kind of keep our fingers crossed on this, guys. Hey guys, thanks for watching as always. If you've got your own thoughts and opinions on the new Black Widow trailer, feel free to share them in the comments section below. Hit that like button, hit that notification bell if you'd like to be notified about new at random videos. Feel free to share this video with your friends and family, and if you'd like to subscribe to At Random, you can do so by clicking this button right over here.